So over the last 2 months of testing, I went ahead and I tested also a lot of engines for the deck. I know yesterday I mentioned some of them when we were talking about the tech cards for the deck. Of all the engines I tested out, some of them performed better than others, and to be honest with you, most of them were a complete failure. But there was one that caught my eye and actually helped solve some of the issues that the deck had, especially going second. So this is day 3 of Ritual Beast week. Today we're gonna talk about Ritual Beast Runicks. Alright, so this is the Runick Ritual Beast deck I've been working on. Now the purpose of this deck and the idea behind it is a little bit different than the pure Ritual Beast version. This deck tried to do 2 things different than the pure version. One, it tried to improve in the consistency of 2 card starters in our opening hand. And 2, it tried to go ahead and improve in the ability of the deck to play through interruptions when you're going second. So you try to make going second a little bit better. Try to make your 2-hand starters better, and in exchange you go ahead and you are taking away some of the powers, taking away some of the depth that the deck has. You notice there is no Petalfin here, there's no Sephra-Pilica. But before we continue, let's go ahead and go over the list real quick. Alright, so we have 3 Cannahawks, 1 card starter, really important for the deck and part of some of your best 2-card combos. Lara, and the important thing with Lara here is that Lara make any other Ritual Beast into a combo of some sort. So you have Lara Cannahawk, you have Lara Rampengo, Apelio, you have Lara and Winda. We're not playing Petalfin, but if we were Lara and Petalfin make a combo, Lara and Elder make a combo, and if you draw Lara together with the OG Lara or with Gwen, you still can put something on board, which is important. In this particular deck, because sometimes you have a lot of Runicks in hand that you cannot activate, so you go with at least some form of interruption, and you have Fontaine and some Runicks in hand to help you interrupt the opponent on their turn. Apart from that, we play 2 Elders, and Elder here is 2 copies and not 3, because the issue with Elder is that you need another Ritual Beast in hand for him to be live, you know, and that Ritual Beast cannot be Lara or Gwen. So you in total need Elder and you need one of these other Ritual Beasts that you have in the deck. So when you play 3 copies, you run the risk that you draw Elder and you don't have anything you can do with it. Was for some time cutting it to 1 copy even, but I will explain more about that at the end of the deck profile here. We also have Lara and Gwen extenders and combo requirements here together with Winda. We have a playset of Rampengo. 1 card starter, really good for 2 cards starters. And together with the place of Rampengo, we also have a Noble Nightshade Bearer. That is our 4 copy of Rampengo here. Noble Nightshade Bearer, as you haven't seen it before, it adds a level 6 or lower win beast monster from your deck to your hand, and that will be Rampengo. It also has a sort of like a hidden effect, in which when it's normal summon, you can banish a light monster from the graveyard and draw 1 card, which Lara happened to be light, so it's a useful card. That effect doesn't come that often, though. The important thing with Rampengo here, and the reason why we play 4 copies, is that Rampengo is a 1 card starter. And also, when you get interrupted in your combos, it's a card that allows you to keep playing if you have a normal summon. So it's very important to play as many copies as possible. I only play 1 Sheer Bearer because there is also a limit, no? Remember, yesterday we went over the cards that we put in the deck, and we can play up to 10 Rampengos if we wanted. But I found that 4 is kind of in the sweet spot there. I would like to play 5, but there's some other cards I prefer to include in the deck, and you want to keep it up to 40 because you're playing Runicks and you don't want to have that inconsistent, no? We have Apelio as a combo requirement for many of the combos. 2 sticks. The second stick come quite often, especially after turn 2, turn 3. You find that you have 1 stick, you search in the first turn, you activate it, you interact with your opponent. Turn 3, your opponent, you cannot kill your opponent, and you need a second stick. So, apart from that, we have Ritual Beast Bones, some combo requirements, and also help you dodge some cards. Interesting enough, we have 3 Shifter here, and the main reason behind it is that even when we are playing our Runick package, it's just too strong and too good to don't play, you know. I noticed that sometimes I have Shifter, 3 Runicks and 1 Ritual Beast monster, and I prefer to do Shifter and summon the Ritual Beast monster and try to play through my opponent interruption. As they stop me, they're on their Shifter on their turn. Is better than trying to just go ahead and go without it. And sometimes you can go for the risky play where you go ahead and if you have the certain specific Runics, you can run the risk of activating Fountain, sending the Runics back and drawing, and then shifting. So then summoning Shifter. So then activating Shifter. So you can also try that. I find it's working here. I find the conflict to come up every once in a while, but it doesn't come often enough for me to don't play Shifter. It's just a card that's too strong, you really want to include. Now for the Runic package. We have 3 Freezing Cores, really good monster effect negate. Tip, probably the best Runic quick play we have, to help us search any of the others. We have a Slumber, and the important thing with a Slumber here is that it's a Runic quick play you can activate turn 1. By targeting your Hugin in the board. So you often are not looking to do many plays with your Runics. You're basically trying to trade your battle phase for more consistency in the deck. We have 1 Dispelling, and the main thing with this is that they are different, different Runics. So you want to try to put, obviously you cannot activate more than 1 copy of the same one per turn, so you want to try to put as many as you can in the grave, no? So you can go ahead and Fountain for 3 if possible. So has Dispelling, we have Flashing Fire, we have 3 Destructions, and we play 2 Fountains here. I find 18 to be a really good number for me. I have a 14 at one point, and I noticed I was just inconsistent. So I increased the number to 18, and this is been working pretty well for me. Apart from that, the extra decks, we have 2 Cannahawks here. I consider this bare minimum. The second one, you often has combos that go through the second one, but you often have ways to defuse them. Sometimes you do a risky play that you leave it on board, and you have the third one, the extra deck. So it does come up that sometimes it can feel very risky to put the second one in the field. The third one does come into play sometimes, but not often enough. So apart from that, we have 2 ulti-cannahawk dragon. This card is so good. You go ahead and use it for your combo turn 1. The targeting protection is very useful against some deck. And turn 3 just allows you to keep playing. It's just fabulous. Ulti Apelio is a combo requirement here. Ulti Apelio, interesting enough, you sometimes are sort of playing more trying to get Ulti Apelio out with 1 negate in hand than trying to go ahead and settle a board with Ulti Reroutari. And part of the reason for that is that obviously one of the issues you will have when you play this deck is that you have Hugin in the extra monsters, no? So you have to do something with the Hugin, and you normally cannot link away with her because Ultimate Falcon requires 2 Ritual Beast monsters. So we have Ultimate Apelio, we have Ultimate Falcon, 2 copies of. One of the copies is requirement it's a combo requirement for Ramping with Fate. We have 1 Ulti Reroutari. We have 2 Hugin. I found this card is so good to bait negates the opponent might have. We have 1 Sleipnir. And this card, I take it in, bring it out again. The main thing behind including Sleipnir is that I allow you just to deal with interruption the opponent has by banishing both cards, no? So this can bait something at the start of your combo if you're going second. You can bait something with it, and then you can go through your Ritual Beast combo afterwards. So that's the important part about this card in the extra deck. Apart from that, we have IP, we have SP, and we have 1 Gravity Controller. And the reason behind Gravity Controller is that you start your turn with Hugin on board. You can trade the Hugin for a Gravity Controller, and then you can perform your full combo, your Ritual Beast combo that summon Kimul Falco to the zone that Gravity Controller is pointing out to. So then again, the idea behind this deck, and the last thing I want to mention here, is that we also have some packages that have been testing out for the deck. I tested for some time Gary and together with Baguska, and this will be, I believe I remove Sleipnir and I remove Ulti Apelio, I believe, Slimy or sorry, it was one Kimurfalco, I believe. Slimy and Kimurfalco. And I put them in. I noticed that Baguska is cool, but it just doesn't do enough, I feel like. At least not with the other interruptions that you set up in this smaller Ritual Beast package that require to be smaller because we have so many Runick cards now. Now, apart from that, I also tested the Ibli combo with the Gigantic Sprite, and this is pretty cool because Hugan obviously is a link too. So sometimes you can go Hugan, and you have Elder in hand, you can go Elder Napengu, Elder Cannahawk, and you can perform a pure Cannahawk one-card combo using your Elder and your Hugan. And at the end of the combo, you can go Gigantic Sprite, and you can go into Ibli, or you can go a Gigantic Sprite into your Elder, and then you can go ahead and do a Link Summon there at the end. So I find it very, very interesting to go ahead and play in this package in. I think it's pretty good, and if the Ibli Glow was better, I would definitely be playing it. Apart from that, last things to explain here is the things that I was mentioning earlier, how we changed this deck. So we can test the version like this, and I like this version quite a bit. What another thing it has done is that it has removed sometimes remove some Laras, I remove Elder, and I bring in the more copies of Shieldbearer, or sometimes I bring in just a place of Ash Blossom. So another thing we can think about is just these 3 cards for more copies of Shieldbearer, or going ahead and just putting a good staple card in there instead. So with the main thing with this deck, again, is the idea that you wanna try to use the Runick just to fix your hand and Benegate. It's been so many times where I start with Hugan, they use an Ash Blossom, they go ahead and use an Infinite Impermanent, whatever they have in hand, and then I can just keep playing with the rest of my Ritual Beast cards. Alright, so this was the Runick Ritual Beast deck profile. A very interesting deck, very experimental, trying to play a little bit of a different style than the pure version. You take away some of the power, try to increase the ability of the deck to play into boards, and at the same time increase consistency of two cards hands, which allow you to play into boards better and also play through hand as an interruption better. So I found it a very interesting deck. It's a deck that probably I'm gonna keep experimenting all the way until we get the cards finally released, if Fontaine doesn't get banned or hit by limiting the ban list. But regardless of that, I really appreciate you watching today. If you enjoy this content, if you're interested about this deck, please like the video. If you find this deck catch your attention, or you have any comment about it, any suggestions, please leave it in the comments below. And apart from that, this was day 3, so we have 3 more days of Ritual Beast content coming into the channel. So if you want to keep an eye on those, make sure to hit the notification bell and also subscribe to the channel. And at last, if you want to see this deck in action, we probably will play over the weekend in our live stream. And if you want to check out the live stream, that's twitch.tv/8YGO channel, and that will be on Sunday. Probably on Sunday morning. I still defining the hour as it is. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow with more Ritual Beast content.